Coming up on ATV News, you know sledding down Old Main Hill is dangerous and you're doing it at your own risk. But what does that actually mean? With gas prices going up, you may be looking for another way to travel. We'll show you one option some commuters are using.
Snow is falling from the sky today, but wait till you hear what could be falling next week. I'll tell you coming up on ATV Weather.
It was down to the final seconds in Provo, but did the Aggies or the Cougars come out on top?
Grabbing a bite to eat on your way to class? New cafes might make that a little bit easier. All this and more coming up on ATV News. Welcome to your ATV News. I'm Courtney Robinson.
And I'm Kelton Wells. If you were involved in an accident on campus, would you hold the school responsible?
I want to find out who's really to blame.
124. That's how many steps it takes to get up or down this hill. But when the snow comes, people are getting down a lot quicker.
I like to go tubing down the hills and go pretty fast.
Sledding is very popular in the winter here at Old Main for all ages.
Been out here my whole life, 37 years. So.
But with the steep slope and slick ice, serious injuries can happen.
Hit the part of the asphalt that was covered in snow, and it twisted me around, and I ended up hitting the tree. I started losing feeling in my hands and legs, and I couldn't feel anything, so I thought I was paralyzed.
But who's to blame when serious injuries happen?
It's the parents' responsibility to watch out and decide whether their kids ought to be coming down or not, or from what height their kids should come down.
If my kids got hurt, that was their fault. My fault for bringing them sledding.
Although sledding down Old Main Hill can be dangerous, some people still risk it for a little bit of fun.
Years after the accident, Humphreys still hasn't touched the hill.
Not that I'm scared or anything, but it's just, I don't know, brings back some scary memories of being thrown into the ambulance.
He takes responsibility, but says the school can do something to actually prevent future injuries.
Nighttime, like, it would be nice to have more lights, because that was the main problem.
Speeding down a tree-lined hill without any brakes usually is an accident waiting to happen.
If you decide to hit the Old Main slopes, be cautious of your surroundings and consider wearing a helmet.
A pair of USU geology professors may have determined what caused the Bonneville flood 15,000 years ago. Lake Bonneville once covered most of Utah and Cache Valley until it broke its natural barrier in southern Idaho and flooded out into the Pacific Ocean, eventually leaving behind the Great Salt Lake. USU professors Suzanne Janicki and Bob Oakes discovered a previously unknown fault at the northern edge of the valley. Their data shows that an earthquake along this fault, which they named the Riverdale Fault, could have caused the flood. Janicki said their data and hypothesis still need testing, but the research is looking promising.
USU's Student Fee Board was approached with several possible fee raises. After rejecting most of their requests, they only chose one recommendation for President Albrecht, a 50-cent increase for Aggie Blue Bikes. This raise is coming after a $41 increase this year on fees for campus recreation and the library. The board will meet with President Albrecht on Friday.
What you eat and where you do it on campus is changing. ATV's Loren Brewer is live in Luke's Cafe to tell you more.
If you're on campus from 6 a.m. in the morning to 9 in the evening, getting a bite to eat is really important, and dining services doing something to help make that a little bit easier.
I really like it. It's convenient. I'm actually a business student, so it's right next to the business building for me. The food's great, prices are good.
I love it. All the workers here are always really, really nice, and the food's awesome.
With so many cafes being built on campus, it's now easier than ever for students to get a bite to eat. But with so many cafes, are they going to be successful?
Yes, they have. As far as, meeting the needs of the students, it's been very successful.
Dining Services, which runs all cafes on campus, hopes to meet that goal with each cafe having something that makes it different.
What makes the Arts Block special is definitely, it's over by itself. It has its own little atmosphere. We have the chalk wall that people can go in there and write on. And so it's their own little special place over at the art building.
Where everybody else has hot sandwiches that are cooked in Turbo Chef, we have grilled paninis. They're made to order and grilled hot and fresh, and so they're a little bit different than the other sandwiches.
We have our wraps, which are made on an Indian flatbread called naan. It creates this unique flavor to it.
And that uniqueness is what Dining Services hopes will bring people in.
It's just fun to see the excitement of all of the people that come in for their first time.
I don't know about you guys, but smelling this food here is making me a little bit hungry. So I'm going to get in line and get something to eat. Back to you guys in the studio.
Sounds good. Thanks, Lauren. USU Dining Services say they are planning on building more cafes on campus, starting with one in the Education Building. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll show you how some departments attracted attention at the career fair.
And you might want to be more careful about falling asleep in class. We'll tell you why after the break.
Now the big guy comes up with that.
But we might as well just start over here.
I just hate it, okay. I just hate it because who looks like an idiot being pointed? You might want to fall asleep in class.
And prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov. Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
If you commute to work or school every morning, you probably know how much you're going to be paying for gas.
Students and faculty members of Utah State University may have found a cheaper alternative. We sent our Marie Tietze out to see if saving a few dollars is worth a longer ride.
Thousands of people ride the tracks every day as a form of transportation to get to where they are going. They can get as far north as Brigham City, but when it comes to Logan, travelers have to find a different way to get there.
I drive to a parking garage in Salt Lake City, and then I walk to my shuttle pickup spot, and then from there is kind of a roundabout way up to Logan. And so, it usually takes about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours to get door to door.
The Salt Lake Express is a shuttle service that commutes from Salt Lake to Logan and even more north to Idaho. But students and faculty members like Professor LaPlante aren't the only people that rely on this service to get to where they need to go.
Just a good mix between airline commuters and older folks and the mass of students.
The Salt Lake Express has 4 shuttles that make 3 trips a day from Logan to Salt Lake. There are many forms of transportation that run through Logan, and students can even get on these buses like CVTD to get anywhere they want in Cache Valley. However, some riders are unhappy at how long it takes to get to Logan.
It makes a lot of stops. We stopped in Bonneville and Brigham City and then 4 times before here, so.
But however many stops it takes, Cache Valley Transit offers a ride to everyone. Marie Tietze, ATV News.
Many students and professors enjoy the long ride because they say they can focus on getting homework done in the shuttle instead of waiting to drive home themselves.
Sometimes choices can seem overwhelming, especially when there are so many of them. At the Majors Fair, the lost, the undetermined, and even the experienced came to learn about different departments and what the university has to offer you.
Snakes can be scary, and having skeletons in your closet can be quite a fright, but something even more horrifying is not knowing what you want to do with your future, or changing what you thought you wanted to.
I'd like to change over to a major in the business department. I have an interest in entrepreneur and running a business.
Happily, there is a solution. The Majors Fair is a place for people who already have chosen their majors, professors, and those who are still looking to gather together, share information, and show off what makes their major so neat.
Yeah, I like that it's broken down into a whole bunch of different categories because it lets me know that there are more options out there than what I initially thought.
I'm kind of looking into the MBA program, kind of just trying to figure out if I want to go beyond civil engineering.
With all the very different options out there, of course having something to show why your major is best would help others who haven't decided yet choose their path.
This is a corn snake, and it's a part of the biology majors exhibit at the Majors Fair. This little guy and other exhibits are helping students choose their major.
For those who haven't decided yet, the Major Fair is a great place to start building a foundation. Randall Henry, ATV News.
The Major Fair is just one way students could learn about the different possibilities, including going online or visiting with professors in the department of their interest.
Sometimes all you need is just an app, but what if it ended up on the internet? Imagine someone taking a picture of you while you're napping in a car or somewhere else like this. What would you do if that picture ended up on the internet? That's what Napping Aggies on Instagram is all about. And as you can see, pictures are almost in every location on campus. But is it okay to take pictures like this without someone knowing? Napping Aggie fans are conflicted about this question.
Well, personally, I think it's funny, but it's one of those things where it's funny until it happens to you. So I feel like sometimes I feel like I can't fall asleep in the library, even if I'm really tired from studying, because I feel like somebody's gonna take a picture of me.
Catch us next week when we take a deeper look at Napping Aggies and what it means for your privacy.
Well, we've got Marie Tietze here to share our weather forecast coming up after the break.
We do. Let's take a look outside and I'll let you know what's going to be coming up this week if you have spring fever especially.
That wasn't bad. Not bad.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Meet David York, renowned physiologist at Utah State University's Center for Advanced Nutrition. Meet Andrew Bergen, avid mountain biker and a sophomore biology major working with Dr. York. Together, they are studying the plagues of our century, researching ways to reduce obesity, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, hoping to shape the future.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Well, Marie, the weather's been really nice the past couple of days, and then I woke up to snow today. What's going on?
I know, it's going to be snowing for the next couple days, and like the live shot outside showed, it was pretty bad. It's probably going to be snowing for the rest of the day and until tomorrow. I've got the national forecast up right here. in just a minute. Right here. Okay, so here's Utah right here, and we're probably going to be getting a snowstorm right through from the west. There are a few storms going on in the east, and we're probably going to get the tail end of that, but it won't be too bad. Let's see what the air quality looks like. Okay, so green means good and yellow means moderate. So it's looking pretty good. Of course, it's always pretty bad in Logan, so stay inside if you can. The 5-day forecast shows that there is a high of 20 or 23 today and a low of 17. It's been snowing all day. It's probably going to snow a little bit later too. Here's 20. It's going to be 25 high and a low of 22 tomorrow. Still going to be snowy tomorrow. And through the weekend, a high of 24 and a low of 10, and Sunday, a 22 and 10. It's going to snow all through the weekend. So if you guys like snow activities, take advantage of it, because on Monday it's not going to be snow anymore. It's going to rain.
That's good. I'm so excited.
I can't wait. Good. I can't wait for spring. I can't wait.
Me too.
Well, it's been a big week in sports. The Aggies had a close one in Provo.
And women's tennis is on a roll. Why did the camera just show the whole?
Hey man, what's up?
Man, I just got out of the club. I'm with two beautiful girls. We're drunk, man. We're so drunk.
You got a ride home or are you driving?
Yeah. I'm gonna push the Cavalier into gear.
Push the Cavalier into gear!
Yeah!
Oh no man, don't drive. I'm on my way. Don't worry, I'll be there in a sec.
Hey guys, I've got all of your Aggie sports news right now. Aggie fans waited for months after Danny Berger collapsed during practice last November. Utah State's game against BYU was postponed. Tuesday night, the Aggies got their chance to take on the Cougars. Putting up his 6th double-double in the last 8 games, Spencer Butterfield added 21 points and 14 rebounds. Jordan Stone had the game of his career with 9 points and 4 blocks. Jared Shaw added 13 points and 8 rebounds as well. Like this one where he went right over the back of one of the BYU players. Two free throws in the final minute tied the game up at 68, but as the clock expired, Craig Cusick scores the winning basket. The Cougars led by as much as 11, but the Aggies battled back. Cusick had a battle of his own. Hours before the game, Cusick learned that his father had been diagnosed with cancer. After the game, he declined to comment on his father's health, instead focusing on the game. The Aggies are back in the familiar confines of the Spectrum this weekend, taking on Illinois State in the ESPN Bracket Buster Series. The game features 2 mid-major schools going head-to-head. A win could help the Aggies' chances at getting a postseason tournament invite. As of right now, the Aggies are 4th in the WAC, with 3 more conference matchups before the WAC tournament. Tennis was in action, hosting Weber State. The women looked to be rolling to an easy victory. They won all 3 doubles matches in straight sets. Jackie West and Mackenzie Davis worked well together, forcing the Wildcats to give up easy points. In their spring season debut, twins Amber and Ashley Stolman 1 to give the Aggies the doubles point. In singles action, Davis's match was left unfinished after Weber was forced to withdraw due to injury. Vojcevic finished off the Aggies' win, beating Weber State's Tyus Kerr in straight sets.
We finished okay, but we started off well in doubles, 8 threes across the board, and then singles, you know, especially our top two were just rolling, and it was just looking like a cruise type of day. And so sometimes it can be a little bit hard to just stay focused and put your foot on the gas pedal and not let them off the hook a little bit.
Talked to Lucas, and he got me pumped up and told me what to do exactly, and I just kind of listened and followed how I really play, not just kind of push the ball back and hope she loses.
Women's tennis hits the road next weekend, heading to Arizona. The NBA trade deadline has passed, and with so many rumors floating around, it's hard to make sense of all the actual trades. After an intense battle, the Magic traded JJ Redick to the Milwaukee Bucks. That was the biggest trade of the day. The Thunder traded Eric Maynard to the Trailblazers for a $2.2 million trade exception. An update on the Oscar Pistorius murder case. The Olympic runner has officially been charged with premeditated murder in the shooting death of his girlfriend. South Africa's police head has appointed a new head investigator after details emerged that the original investigator is facing attempted murder charges in another case. Pistorius is currently being held awaiting a bail hearing. Baseball is back, and spring training is underway in Florida and Arizona. Teams' 40-man rosters have officially reported to camps. Yesterday's workouts got cut short in Arizona when a spring storm dropped snow in Phoenix and Tucson. Games officially start tomorrow. Well, we've got an exciting weekend of sports ahead of us, and we'll fill you in on Tuesday.
Well, still to come on ATV News, students were starving for a good cause at the Hunger Banquet.
And could playing video games actually be making you a better student? We'll tell you after this. You're fine.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time.
Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first little thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
The Copy Center on the first floor of the TSC is open Monday through Friday, 7 to 6 for all your document needs. Let the trained staff help you print important documents. Services include binding, color copies, custom gifts from your favorite photos, and last-minute items like pencils, report covers, and especially Scantrons. The Copy Center. We're here to help.
Eating at a table may be normal for you, but what if you had that luxury taken away? Our own Lee Kubik is outside to explain what some students did to raise awareness for those in poverty.
I was at the Hunger Banquet last night to see how some USU students got their own little taste of poverty.
Students entered into a different culture Wednesday night when STEP hosted their Hunger Banquet.
The Hunger Banquet is an event that STEP holds every year, and basically it's just to show the unequal distribution of wealth around the world.
Attendees would get a ticket at the door that tells them what class they represent. Students went through the food line to get the food that was assigned to them. The lower class ate rice and beans while eating on the floor. The middle class was allowed to sit on chairs and given pizza. The upper class sat at a table and were served a 3-course meal.
I feel privileged each and every night when I get to eat dinner at a table, while most people around the world end up eating dinner like this.
Sustainable Cambodia board member Paul Stringham gave insight on volunteering in Cambodia, which got students thinking about ways to help.
It's hard to help and to know how to help, so I think that's why this is good, because it helps us to figure out, gets us one step closer to helping.
It really makes me grateful for what I have, but also makes me realize how much I can give and like how much I take for granted.
Together Ending Poverty hosts this Hunger Banquet each year so students get the opportunity to see how they can give back to impoverished countries. All of last night's proceeds are going to Sustainable Cambodia's volunteer efforts. Back to you guys in the studio.
To become a volunteer for STEP, contact them at step@aggiemail.usu.edu.
Some college students like to play video games in their free time, but may not know about the risks involved with the hobby. We sent our Eric Jungblut to find out more.
It's a sound that can be heard coming from many college students' dorm rooms and apartments. The click of a controller and the sound of destruction and violence.
Violent M-rated video games such as these are very popular amongst the college crowd. But are they too violent, and do they serve as too much of a distraction from schoolwork?
Stevens Henniger College graduate Alan Dexter doesn't think so.
I think that with any sort of outlet, it all depends on the person using it, you know, whether it be video games or guns or, you know, whatever that person is using, it depends on who they are rather than what they're using.
According to Pew Internet Research, 70% of college students play video games at least once in a while. Some students say this can be distracting to their studies.
Definitely can be if you're not careful about how you spend your time. But if you manage your time accordingly, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Regardless, many college students play video games to simply unwind from their studies.
It relaxes me, you know, just going online for a bit, shooting some bad guys. It's pretty relaxing, honestly.
Especially after a frustrating week of classes, it's always nice to unwind, and that was always a good outlet.
Eric Jungblut, ATV News.
According to a recent study from the University of Texas Medical Branch, video games might help students concentrate better in certain areas of school. Well, what have you got going on this weekend, you guys?
Homework. Lots of homework,
yeah.
Unfortunately.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, lots of papers.
Well, I have some homework too, but I'm not going to do it probably.
What are you going to do?
I'm a bad student. I'm going down to Salt Lake with my roommates. We're just going to hang out.
Oh, there you go. Maybe you can take the Salt Lake Express.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, me and Meredith will be at the basketball game.
Yeah, me and Courtney got the basketball game covered.
Be a good game.
Good. Thanks for watching ATV News.
Y'all have a great weekend.